Hi,
Hello.
chat. So this was a question that I believe on Sunday was asked. It was right when I was hopping off, and so I didn't hear what the conversation was. But I'm interested in actually asking and getting some advice about getting some advice around that. It was how to, I guess not necessarily pitch celibacy or abstinence, but invite one to join in abstinence with you or celibacy with you, and um, kind of create like a fun atmosphere around the conversation. Is that something that you find that a lot of men are? Again, we're talking about the apps. Are those a lot of? Do you find that a lot of men are willing to abstain?
No, they
No.
are not.
Okay. I find that myself too. So, but as a man, you may have different insight from like inside conversations.
Yeah, no, that's not something men are interested in at all.
Hmm.
I mean, unless like within the Christian circles, obviously, but even then, it's somewhat rare,
Yeah, even within Christian circles, it is rare. I mean,
right?
understandably so. However, I think that um, with the will, one can become disciplined enough to, again, abstain for the purpose of not having these soul ties and really committing ourselves to the Lord, and then committing ourselves to um, just like righteous behavior. What do you feel? Do you feel like how do you as a man how do you feel like other men would like to be approached if that were to come up in a conversation?
I mean, it should come up in the conversation, but like,
I, yeah, it just hasn't gone very well. In the past, I've brought it up, and it didn't go too well. I mean, I think it was received like there was understanding, but it was kind of like I'm not rocking with it, so no thanks.
yeah, I mean, because I've always said that like, you know, people within the Christian faith should not be dating in a worldly manner.
Mm-hmm.
So dating apps are
I
pretty
know
much
dating
out.
apps, they totally have to go. However, I just feel like since I do have them, um, I thought maybe it's a way that I could talk
What?
to people and maybe just find a needle in a haystack type situation.
Yeah, why do that? Why try to find a needle in a haystack when you can just go where the needles are?
This is true. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'm just making it difficult. Like from the last conversation, I did realize I need to totally just ditch the apps because it's not necessary. But um, I don't think I've been on them as much. That's the thing. I just haven't been having as many conversations.
Right.
But I haven't deleted them.
Yeah, you probably should, right?
Yeah,
Like, listen, I'm gonna tell you,
I don't know
apps. I
why.
promise you, the most promiscuous people you know are on apps. That
Uh,
doesn't mean that
well,
everyone on
yeah.
apps are that way. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying you will find that the most promiscuous people, both men and women, are on
Yes,
apps.
this is very true. Now, I understand that one can be very promiscuous in one stage of life and then have a kind of renewing of the mind, renewing of the spirit, and just kind of commit to a different form of discipline that leads them to live differently and then steward their body differently. Yes, it is weird, and yes, they can still be weird in the middle of like that change, but I totally like I've seen it, so I know it's there. I think just finding it is a needle in a haystack, and it takes a lot of, yeah, it takes like being very stern and grounded in the decision to say like this is it, this is what it's gonna be, and I just need someone to understand and be willing to follow suit, or who's already in it. That's really ultimately what it is. I would need someone who's already doing it, who's already
Right.
practicing, strong in that discipline, and then kind of moving from there. But do you feel like do you feel like there's a way to approach the conversation that could make it a little bit lighter? Because I don't feel like it's a very light conversation typically.
It's not, but it's only a heavy conversation with people who aren't already doing it.
Understood. Okay.
Right, which defeats the purpose because you're not going to convince someone to be at. absent.
Right,
That's
no,
very
and I
rare.
understand that. I'm okay with it. I
Okay.
do not want to be, I don't want to convince. Um, I just really want to explain or let it be known and then kind of see if someone would be open and receptive. But again, like I said,
But
I just want
even
to
the
be
open and receptive aspect is like kind of implying that they aren't already coming from that orientation.
right. But in the same way that one, I'm kind of thinking of it like one can choose to try it out and
No,
see the benefits of it.
no,
And once they see the benefits,
nope,
then they may say, you know what?
nope,
Yeah,
nope, nope,
yeah,
nope,
this isn't all so bad.
nope, 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 nope. That don't even make sense on paper.
It's wishful
Like,
thinking. It's
yeah,
straight up wishful thinking. I get it. I hear it. But that's okay. That's okay.
yeah, you might as well date within Christian communities, date within the church, date within people. Like, taking the community approach is going to be much more. You'll find much more success that way.
Okay.
Right. Just from like a logical, strategic perspective, obviously anything can happen because like God is orchestrating things ultimately. So like you could find
Mhm.
someone on the app that you magically match with and y'all just are in alignment. That's very much possible. It's just like just from a practical perspective, it's less likely.
Okay. I appreciate that. There's some comments on here actually that I'll have to go back and read. And one that caught my eye, they won't believe you, they'll try and make you fold. So I think that's a really interesting point here because I think that a lot of people do have this drive or desire, but can be it shows that they're not grounded enough in their decision, and because of the lure and the temptation, they can easily be kind of like seduced into making a decision, and they will fold. I don't think it's. I guess that's. I Is that because they don't believe that they try and lure, or is it because they just understand that they're capable of luring?
I don't understand the question. Can you rephrase?
Yeah, I'm kind of at this point just kind of talking aloud. I'm trying to understand that question, but I'm not. I'm kind of rambling from here, so I'm gonna drop. I
Okay.
appreciate the conversation, and
Okay.
I'm gonna listen from here.
All right. Sounds good, love. Best of luck to
Sounds
you.
good. Talk to you guys.
All
Thank you.
right. Good old Morgan. All right. Let's get Kelvin up here. Let's get Danny up here. Got to get my guys up. What's going on, bro?
Trying to get up and get on her ass. I'm just kidding. No, I just I wanted to have a couple. I had a couple things I wanted to comment on what she was saying. But I didn't know if that was how your live was working, so I was just kind of
Normally it's just Q&A, bro, but you can go ahead and share. That's cool.
Well, I think what I was gonna say to her is a couple of things. Thing number one being, you're not gonna be able to convince somebody to come into your journey. You know what I'm saying? Like if abstinence is something that you personally want to do, the odds of you convincing someone to refrain from something that they're used to doing for you is kind of crazy, and like no disrespect to her, but like a little selfish, you know.
Right.
And the other thing that I was gonna say was on dating apps, you kind of have to concede to a level of like loneliness that you're going through when you're on the dating app, because like when you decide to go on a dating app, you kind of giving up the I'm gonna walk into my person at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
now you're kind of indirectly on the prowl. So,
Right.
and with that being said, like it's difficult to find someone with like these specific and very strict discipline based um thought processes when you're kind of removing yourself from your discipline and subjecting yourself to your loneliness and desperation. So that's all. I just wanted to say that I didn't want to bash her. It was just I
Okay.
thought she was reaching for something that's going to be very difficult in the setting that she's looking for it in.
Exactly. 100%. I agree 100%. But yeah, she's called in a few times. It sounds like this is your first time here, but yeah, we have some regulars that call in and update us on their process.
Don't you?
So
Well,
yeah,
I'm a lock in.
my
I'm a
man.
drop though. Thank
All
God.
right, sounds good, bro. Appreciate you. All right, who we got next? Funny Man Videos. What's up, bro? Funny Man, are you there? Going once, going twice. So, Danny, did you request up by accident? I saw you drop. Adrian, what's up, man?
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, I'm 32 years old, and I really haven't been in any relationship since I've been an adult.
Okay.
I am a virgin. You know, I wouldn't say I'm not an incel. I'm not trying to blame anybody else for that,
Right.
because it's kind of been my own way of kind of protecting myself, I guess, and being in my own head too much.
Right.
I've tried to do as much work as I can, without really having the funds or the access to like therapists, but just doing research, watching stuff like this and
Mm-hmm.
trying to get as much info as I can. I've gotten to the point where I'm trying to step my foot into, the start of dating, like, hey, approaching women in public, not trying to be a player or talk them out of anything. Just say, hey, my name is Adrian. I think you're very, beautiful. Can I get your number or stuff like that? But,
Right.
I've had a couple situations as an adult where, even when I tried to skip over, or my brothers who are much more accomplished in that area try to put me in situations where I could succeed, or, jump the line of, you can have sex with this girl, or, she feeling you, it hasn't worked out. I haven't been able to, like, I guess some part of me, I guess, I don't know, I'm afraid. I've been, I'm 32, I haven't done it yet, still, like, even when, like, I had opportunity one time, literally sitting right before me, I couldn't even get it up. So I'm just kind of like, I want to do this, but I want to make sure that I'm not going in and, like, making it somebody else's problem, and I'm doing it in a healthy way.
Right. Okay. So the goal is to lose the V card, right?
I do want to, of course. That's
Okay.
everybody's goal, but I don't just want to, like like I said, my brothers, I've seen them do that a million different, like, especially my younger brother. He's much accomplished. He can, he's, I don't, any word you can say for a guy who just gets a lot of girls.
Right.
Doesn't really be in relationships.
Okay.
My older brother, he's not as accomplished, but he's, I've seen the flaws in that. I don't really want that for myself, and that's just not me anyway. Even if I wanted to try to just, to do that, I couldn't. It's just not me.
Okay.
I don't know.
So what goal do you have here? What do you want to happen?
I just want to start, being able to be in, a healthy relationship, or learn how to move in that direction.
Okay. So your goal is a relationship, not necessarily to sleep with somebody.
Yeah, of course, down the line, if it works, and that was, of course, but I don't want to, like, spend all this time working, building myself, and then try to go be something I'm not.
That's respectable. Okay. So what do you think is what do you think is stopping you?
I think I just had some crazy things happen to me when I was a kid, and I had a lot of trauma on mother and father's side, so I think I just end up being one of those people who kind of, like, withdraws into himself and stays at home a lot, and haven't really put myself into a lot of situations. I've always kind of just been, like, the kind of person who, like, somebody will tell you, oh, this is the right thing to do, and I just cling to that, not even just because I feel like I'm such a good person, just because I'm too afraid to get in trouble or go out there or step beyond the line.
Okay.
And as I've gotten older, through different living life and, being in certain situations where I'm thrust into having to step over my comfort zone, I built up a level of confidence in myself that even though I'm scared, I can handle myself. I'm still a man. I still, like, I've done things, like, without trying to, like, push the envelope. I've, started just telling women, like, hey, like I said, I think you're beautiful, or, you know, being tongue-tied from a beautiful woman at my jobs, you know, I just make it to a joke like, hey, you know, I'm sorry you got me tongue-tied, I'm nervous. And I've been able to just like have success in small ways like that.
Nice.
And you know, I'm not trying to like big myself up, but my female friends have, you know, shown me I'm not ugly or unattractive, especially when I take better care of myself, which is, you know, something I've started to try to do as well. But I guess I've just, like I said before, I'm just, you know, 32, you haven't been in a relationship, that's a red flag, I realize.
Okay, don't emphasize red flags, right? Everybody has red flags. Okay, so focus on things that build you up, not tear you down. That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where are you being stopped in the process? So you said that you're able to go and pay a woman a compliment, engage them in conversation. So why are we not segueing from that to a number exchange or a date? Like, where are you being stopped in the process of courtship?
I feel like as much times as I've even gotten to texting a girl, I just am not skilled enough to, you know, you meet the red ends or you're not compatible. That's happened to me a couple times, or I just don't know how to engage in a way that brings my personality across, because I know also that, you know, I'm funny when I want to be, when I can relax, you know, I know I have good qualities. I guess I just don't really know how to bring it there in a way. And I guess also if I'm honest, I guess I'm just scared of what would happen if I do, because I don't know. I guess I just deep anxiety and being in my head too much.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, when are you experiencing that anxiety? Are you experiencing that anxiety when you are? Sounds like you've been able to get numbers, right? The
Yeah.
numbers you said. Okay, so you're able
Yeah.
to go from initial conversation to a number exchange, and is that where things kind of break down?
Yeah. In the beginning, it was just like trying to text too long, you know,
Right.
being a pen pal, I guess they call it.
Right.
And then other times it was just not being financially ready to even like. Basically, I would come up with any excuse I can. I think that if I'm getting to a point now, I think about it. What happened is subconsciously, when I get to that point, I just end up coming with every excuse in my own heart, in my head, without realizing it.
Right.
This is not the right time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, basically the thing I've always done to stop myself from putting forward is like, okay, come up with a reasonable excuse for myself about why, you know, this is not responsible to do, when really I guess it's just me being scared to step out of my comfort zone.
Right. It's just you sabotaging yourself. So it sounds like you have a good amount of awareness over the situation, and you are obviously attractive enough to go ahead and get women to agree to, you know, allow you into their world to a certain degree, right? You're just stopping yourself at this point because it's been so, you know, you've lived so long without hitting particular milestones, and now it's kind of becoming like a neurosis. So you know the answer, bro. It's just this is going to be a matter of courage.
Yeah.
And it's going to be so the next time you find yourself in one of those situations, you have to just commit to the next step in the process, which it sounds like would be a date. Right?
Yeah.
Regardless of what your brain is telling you, regardless of any kind of excuse it may be giving you, right? You need to just take that next step, right? Make that the goal. Okay, I got to progress this to at least a date, right?
And keep following through, because I have had one day before, you know, that came through, and this is years ago, I'm not gonna lie, about 2-3 years ago when I was living in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a beautiful African girl I met on I think it was Facebook dating or something like that.
Nice.
And we went on a date, and I just realized mostly my fault was sloppy and, you know, unprepared. Not sloppy like looking, but I didn't have a plan out for what the date was gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I ended up making her laugh, you know, I just have to, like you said, follow through and be more prepared, I guess.
Yeah, you got all the pieces, bro. This is just courage, right? There will be other things to learn. Don't get me wrong, but like
Yeah.
where you're currently being stopped now is just being courageous and getting out of that comfort zone. That's it. Um, Feel free to DM me if you want to talk about this further, because this will be a long conversation, right? There'll be a
Yeah.
lot of stuff to unpack, but yeah, definitely keep me posted in the progress, and I'll help in any way I can. All right,
I appreciate you talking to me.
no problem, Chief. You take care of yourself. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, Danny, what's going on, bro?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. What you got going on, Chief?
Nothing much. I was listening into the conversation with Morgan on abstinence, and I just wanted to, before I ask my question, give a quick 2 cents on that.
Sure, go ahead.
I think you hit the nail on the head on the advice. Mainly, just you shouldn't be dating worldly people if you're serious about being abstinent, because it's not going to work. Some of the advice I've had to give some other homegirls with their younger sisters and such is, they're in college, they're dating
Right.
attractive guys on the soccer team and stuff, and they're like wondering why they tell them they're abstinent, but they still hang around with them, even though they're talking to other girls. And I usually tell them one of two things is happening. Either A, like one of attractive guys will do one of the things. Either A, they'll check out because they have other options. They'll go to whoever they have more access to. Or B, they don't believe you, and they know that if they're there with enough time and proximity, you're probably going to fold. This has personally happened to me before I became abstinent. There was a girl I was seeing that definitely said that that's not something she wanted to do. And funny enough, a month later, she's the one initiating that kind of intimacy. So it definitely happens. And if you're serious about it, you really cannot date worldly people.
Right.
When I was abstinent, what helped is I just led with it as a value whenever we had those conversations. I didn't really ask them to be abstinent. I just led with, this is something that matters to me. This is what I'm working on with my relationship with God. I'm talking to my pastor about it, et cetera, et cetera. But I always led with it as something that's important to me.
Right.
And I just found the right people stuck around and the wrong ones would just check out. But I'm also a man, so it's probably a different frame compared to what it is for a woman.
Yeah, if a woman does that, the man, if he is player type, he'll just take on that frame himself, pretend like he's abstaining as well, and bide his time. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah. But that was kind of the essence of it. Other than that, I'm putting myself back out there. I decided to sign up for a Christian speed dating event.
Oh wow, okay.
Just putting my feelers out. Nothing crazy. If I have a beer and meet someone new, I'll call it a good night. I started reading The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, and I guess one of my questions for you is, what would you say is probably the most important piece to take away from this book? I'm only through like the first chapter, but it's already been helpful.
Right. Yeah, The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem was really good. It's like there's not a lot of information out there of how to cultivate higher self-esteem. That book was written, I want to say, in like the 80s or something like that, but it's like a really good book. I mean, I can't really condense it to one takeaway. It's just the 6 pillars, right? Like you'll probably find as you read that you are stronger in some than others. So then the mentality then is like strengthen up the lesser pillar. Right.
Got you.
Right. So for me, it will be like living consciously. Sometimes I tend to just be on autopilot sometimes, right? Where it's like, okay, let me focus on let me be intentional about my time. And in doing so, you become more proud of yourself. You live a life in more alignment with your values. You live consciously, right? Which in turn boosts your self-esteem.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how I would look at it. It would be like probably grade yourself from a scale from 1 to 10 in each one of the pillars, and then whatever one's the weakest, like, okay, let's beef this up a little bit.
Okay, I hear you on that. I think even before I finish this book, I know my biggest weakness is just learning to trust my gut. I think I'm understanding I have a pretty sharp intuition, and I'm better at attunement than I thought I was. I think it's just learning how to trust myself
Right.
when I'm seeing patterns and I'm coming to conclusions. I think the other day you were telling another gentleman not to weaponize empathy against themselves. I think I've done that a lot in the past too. And it's just learning to listen to the gut, listen to what I'm feeling somatically about the situation, and making the adult decisions that are best for myself.
Yeah. No, yeah, I 100% agree. That's something the reason why I give that advice is because it's like something I struggle with as well. Like as soon as you can kind of see the reason why somebody does something, you tend to be a bit too forgiving. Forgiving isn't accepting is the better word, right?
Yeah.
Make excuses for them. So yeah, that's good stuff, man.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Keep me
Before
posted on the speed dating with the Christian speed dating, man. I normally am not a proponent of speed dating, but within the Christian frame, I can get behind that.
This will be an interesting frame. I have found in the past when I attend speed dating, I do tend to do really well in that domain. So I haven't quite figured out what makes me good at that space, but I do tend to get a lot of opportunities when I attend those events. So I'll see how this one goes.
Sounds good, bro. Keep me posted.
Awesome. One more thing before
Yeah,
we
go ahead.
I notice a lot of people kind of ask about what book they could read that can help them with attachment-based stuff. One book that really helped me from on it's called The Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. It doesn't really talk about attachment itself, but a lot of the emotional behaviors and adaptations we have as kids are pretty adjacent to those behaviors. So it's a really good foundation. I found it helped me. I think I'm anxiously attached. I could be wrong, but I felt like it started helping me with the fundamentals of fixing those problems by being more self-aware.
Nice. I'm gonna look into that as well, then, man. Appreciate you.
Awesome. Well, that's it. I'll get out of here.
All right, big dog.
Appreciate the talk.
Take care, man. All right, who we got next? Connor.
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's up, Chief?
Oh, not much. No, just some dating updates. I know we talked briefly a little bit, and I did go on a date. Was it this past weekend?
Right.
And nothing. We had nothing in common, and so I pretty much she was for whatever reason like So I learned that I never really set like not boundaries per se, but like what I value really. I guess
Right.
I just usually just have very baseline enough information and laughter to get them home.
Yeah, I
So
wanted,
it's-
I reflected on our last conversation and I was like, there's a big component that I haven't told him. And that's probably that he's being a bit too performative and not authentic enough on the dates. But continue.
Right. So it's just laughter and ramp up and make out and sex.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, I should at least put one thing I value and why I value it
Okay.
into the date somewhere.
Yeah.
And so I did. I talked about how much I like reading. I enjoy reading. I like the intellectual stimulation. I like getting your mind away from this world, all that creative stuff. And she was like, I don't read at all. And I was like, oh, okay. But then for the rest of the date, she kind of brought up like, oh, but I do love libraries. I go to libraries all the time. And I'm like,
And do what?
What do you do in libraries? She's like,
Hilarious.
I bring my laptop to work in them.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, so you take your work laptop to a library to work, not because of the books.
Right. Ridiculous.
But it was funny to see how like she switched over to like trying to like show me she's into that.
Uh-huh.
And it's like the first time I've ever like really put down like a value of any kind, and like it like a switch flipped up.
So you said
but-
a switch flip in what way? Like in a negative way? Like y'all just didn't like job?
Oh, in a positive way for her. Like, because we were doing fine before. But then I did that, and I was just kind of like, oh, okay. And then she just started, I also like bookshops. I love bookshops. And I was like, but you don't go in there to read the books or buy them? She goes, no, I just like being in them. I was like, okay.
Right.
So she got more talkative and more flirty and more like, we should totally do this again. And I was just like, I don't think we have enough in common to form a serious relationship.
Uh-huh.
So.
Hmm.
But
What
yeah,
was
so that
happening?
was
What was
interesting.
happening there? You kind of like unintentionally made her qualify herself, which is a good. It's like a game tactic. I won't get
Right,
into
but
it,
I don't think I've ever made any girl qualify herself before. I've
right?
never tried to.
Because you never stated like any kind of value. You never stated something
Exactly.
that would put you in the judge's seat, right?
Exactly. So I think that was part of the problem is everything was so surface level that they probably felt like they didn't know me.
Mm-hmm.
There was no real connection other than, okay, cool, sex was good,
Right.
and he made me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
So
You'll find as you become more authentic, you'll become more polarizing. So you may end up in a situation where you convert fewer women back to your place.
that's fine. I'd rather be more all
But
out.
the ones who will go are going to be like more into you. That's the trade off.
Right.
So it's a good thing.
Right.
It's filtering,
Yeah.
right? Like tell guys when they get to a place where they can now be just generally more attractive. Okay, the next step from that is you don't stay there, right? The next step
Yeah.
from there is now you just begin filtering.
Yeah. Okay.
So you become more. It's funny the cycles you go in, right? It's like the best advice is like be yourself, but you have to kind of develop yourself a bit before you can be yourself for real, right?
Yeah.
You
You
take
have
a
to
guy
kind of push the boundaries to see what you're good
hundred
with and
percent,
whatnot.
100%. You take a guy who's like still in like Disney World frame, right? Like the
Yeah.
simp frame. It's like you tell him to be himself, he's gonna fuck things up. So he can't be himself for real. He has to kind of like still discover himself and work on himself. And as you work on yourself, then you start becoming more generally attractive. And then the next step is like, okay, now let's be yourself again. Because now the signal is cleaner. It's not being filtered through all this societal conditioning and this neediness and this, low self esteem, right? It's a
Right.
cleaner expression of who you are. And now on the back end, when you be yourself, you more effectively filter people. And the people who stick around are the people who are really your best fits.
Right, and they want to be there because they do feel a little bit more chosen because they know you're filtering.
Exactly, 100%, and it makes them more attracted to you because they can feel the vibe that's like, oh, you're not just going with anybody. Like you actually have standards, and now I feel special having been chosen by you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hmm.
One other thing. No, there is this girl I'm talking to on Hinge, and she is just every aspect, everything we've talked about is just out of this world, crazy. It's awesome, and she's like hot and cold. Asked her out, and she's like, "Oh, I don't really drink. Is that a deal breaker?" And I said, "Nah, I'm pretty, casual. If you don't want to drink, you can, I'm sure they have water or something else.
Hmm.
Plus, I picked the place mainly because so we can hear each other."
Okay.
And then she took like 24 hours to reply to that and just said, "Okay." So I was like, well, I don't know what to. Feels like a flake, but you never know.
Okay. It sounded like she said, "I don't drink" as like a soft way to get you to change the venue. And you didn't change the venue. You're like, all right, I guess. Um.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. I didn't think about that. I
Mhm.
just figured I would. Oh, she needs maybe more comfort, so I tried to provide more comfort in that situation.
Yeah. Yeah. She just didn't want to go to a bar. But I mean, it's all good. We'll see if her interest is high enough, she'll show up.
I sure hope so. I mean, she needs a picture of her at Oktoberfest, so I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal.
Huh. Okay. So, but you're so far like the exchange of messages is like makes you hopeful.
Oh yeah, she's like into a crazy amount of stuff I'm into. Humor seems to be mostly on point. Sometimes she gets a little straightforward and dry, but
Hmm.
that is also just messaging. So
Right. Right. Okay. Well, keep me posted on how it goes, man.
I'll let you know. It's supposed to be happening Sunday, so I'll let you know.
Perfect. All right, Chief. Until then, you take care.
You too.
Hello.
What's going on?
What's up, Chief?
I have like one or two things to point on. One, I one of my friends introduced me to this girl. her name, and I'm not gonna say name, but she's super beautiful, and I haven't felt a genuine connection in 2 years. So like I've been out of dating for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So my two things are, how do I? She has a kind of, me and her have busy lives. How do we like? How do we go interchange with that? Because we like each other a lot, a lot. And then the second thing is, I was I've been trying to date and everything, and I feel like all of this is negative, and like I just can't. I feel like I can't trust no more. So how do I trust? How do I take people's trust and everything? How do I give it? And then the other part. So
So what was the first question? You said you and her both have busy lives.
yeah, we have like, it's not too busy, but she works a job and I do freelancing and all that, just helping people out where they do. Like I made $250 the other day for helping someone move their entire house. So,
Nice.
but
Okay. So what problem is this creating? Y'all can't see each other?
we don't really see each other, and we just don't. We both have been out of the game for so long.
Okay. Have you like asked her on a date?
uh, I've asked her on a date, and we're actually. I don't know if this is a deal breaker, man. I'm 18.
Okay.
I'm a senior in high school, and we're going together. We're staying in the house together with a couple of friends for prom. I went to see her job yesterday. I surprised her, embarrassed her because her boss came over. Was like, "Oh, this is your boyfriend." So it was really funny.
How old is
And
she?
she is 17.
Okay.
I'm 18. So yeah, I really do like her. I haven't had anyone like a genuine connection since my ex 2 years ago, and I just have like this like I'm like actually happy to like be with someone. I'm not like skipping through girls anymore.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like you don't really have a problem there as far as like seeing each other. It's just that's just like a planning thing. Like just
It's a
let's get the
planning thing.
logistics. Okay, what does your schedule look like? What does my schedule look like? Seems like we have some availability here. Let's meet up this Thursday, right? So that's not a big problem.
What
The
about the trust thing? Like how do I give her trust? Because I feel like I can't trust anybody because I've had so many people who've passed away in my life, and like all these people who I thought were like really good people in my life, they just left me. I don't get my trust out.
okay. Well, trust. Look at trust as something that people earn over time.
Right? Okay.
Okay. So that's it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason I say that is because I had a really good friend, known her for 5 years, and she used my aunt my aunt and uncle's death against me,
Mm.
because we got into like a pretty nasty argument, and because about like religious things and all that, and I told her I'm like I love God and everything, and she basically said that my aunt and uncle deserved to go to hell. And so she used something I was really personal against me, and I feel like I can't trust women anymore, and I'm scared they're going to use everything in their power against me. So,
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's a messed up thing to say to somebody, but that's one person, right?
I
So,
say,
so like, think about all the people out there who have, great cousins, great marriages with women, right? Like, obviously, there are many trustworthy women and men on the planet, but there are also many untrustworthy women and men on the planet, right? So that's just going to be a matter of you vetting appropriately and, you know, allowing people to show you who they are over time. Okay?
I appreciate it. Hey, actually, she's calling me right now.
Take that,
So,
bro. Handle that. Handle
hey,
that.
hey, I'm gonna give you a follow. I respect you,
I appreciate you, brother. You take care.
too, man.
Hmm. All right. Anita. Anita, are you there?
Hi,
There we go. How
can
you
you hear
doing?
me?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
So I am more on the mature level. I'm older than the last people that has spoken. Um, I just don't know how to come out and speak and like meet people my age. How do you do that? I'm new.
How do you meet people your age?
What?
You said, how do you meet people your age?
Yeah, I don't know how to do that at my age. Um, I was in a long marriage that ended for a while, and then I was in a bad relationship for a year or two after. I just don't know how to do it again. I don't know how to, like, people ask me, like, oh, what are you looking for? And I don't know how to respond to that.
Okay.
I'm almost 50 years old, and I'd like to have a nice relationship, but I don't know how to answer to that when people ask me. It's weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
what?
it's a very weird thing when you're my age. It's different.
I'm sure. What does your social life look like?
Um, Pretty open. I don't know. I'm pretty. Actually, I'm alone a lot, but I'd like to meet people. I just I don't know how to be normal and talk to people. God, that's weird.
Okay, so not much of a social life right now. That's what
Yeah,
you're saying?
really.
Okay, that's what I would start there, right? I wouldn't treat this as a dating problem. I would treat this as a social problem, right? So I would just start making friends, platonic connections, both with both men and women. I would maybe pick up some hobbies, join clubs, right? Anything that may catch your interest, and then when you go in those environments, just show yourself as friendly, right? Smile at people, be warm, give positive energy, and treat it that way for a while. That positions you to where, yeah, you can make friends, but you also can make some sort of romantic connections if you're in
Okay.
alignment with people in that environment. Okay.
Okay, but when I've had these so-called romantic connections, I don't know how to respond to it.
What do you mean?
Like, um, I've been asked, well, currently, um, how do you feel about a long-term relationship? I would like to say yes, but part of me is so scared of saying yes again because I've been so hurt in the past. I don't know how to I don't know how to react to that. Because, yes, I would love to. I would love to meet somebody that wants to meet me. But I'm too afraid to say yes.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I understand that. How did you heal from those past situations, your past marriage and past relationship?
I kind of reverted and decided I am the best me I can be. But now that I'm faced with that, I don't know how to be okay with it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Doesn't.
Um,
How did you heal from your past marriage and relationship?
I became very guarded.
Okay, so you didn't heal.
Um,
That's the answer.
yeah, I did heal.
Being
I did
guarded,
heal.
being guarded isn't healing.
It's not.
No. Why would that be healing? That's the
It,
opposite.
it is. It is because I've become stronger. I have known what I want for myself.
I don't think you do. You just told me that you don't even know if you want a relationship. So you don't know what you want for
Oh,
yourself.
I do, but I don't know how to do it now.
Okay.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to be able to say yes. That's what I want.
Okay.
I'm too afraid to say yes. That's what I want, because I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm. Have you been to therapy or anything like that?
No.
No. You might want to look into that, love.
Do you think so?
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, you didn't heal from your past situations. You adapted.
Okay.
You closed yourself off instead of opening yourself up. That's not healing, right? Not blaming you for that. It's a very tough situation, right? I feel for you, but right now you are your own worst enemy.
Yeah. And a lot of it is because I'm too afraid to be open
Right.
because
But
I always feel like I'm not good enough.
yeah, yep. I mean, that's all the more reason I would suggest therapy of some sort. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate
No
that.
problem, love. You have a good one. All right. Hello.
Hello,
How
can
you
you hear
doing?
me?
Hmm.
Okay. I don't know if it's like an advice or like it's I don't know. If you can help me with that, but I'm trying to understand myself. That I was seeing someone and it stopped. The reason was because he was like seeing other people as well, which I didn't mind, but I did ask or like tell him like I think in like a moment of time that we're dating, I think you're gonna have to choose like which person you wanna like go further with. I think that's a normal thing to say when you're dating someone.
Right.
Um, but then we stopped dating and I got mad and I stopped everything with him. But somehow I feel like this. I don't hate him, but I feel like this hurt that I have for this guy. And I'm like trying. I'm just wondering how can you like get past that, like the hurt of like dating someone for so short, but you still have like we had a really strong connection, but then that stopped like recent, and I'm still like hurt, even though I shouldn't. I don't know how
Okay.
to say it.
How long did you date this person?
We were dating for. We went on 4 dates in, let's say, 3 weeks.
It was
So
three
really
weeks.
short.
Okay. And how
Yeah.
long ago did it end?
Um, Last week.
Okay. So you're a week removed from it.
Yeah,
Okay. Did y'all sleep together?
we did.
Okay. Well, that certainly doesn't help the situation. How did you meet this person?
Not at all.
How did you meet him?
Through a dating app.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, and the moment we matched, the moment we started talking, it was just like this, like weird fireworks, if I can say it like that. And it was really nice, and we could like laugh and just really have fun. Even on the first date it was like I knew him for like 5 years, let's say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So, how old were you two?
Sorry.
How old are you two?
We're both 30.
Both 30. Okay. All right. I mean, love, are you still like following him on social media, things of that nature?
No,
Talking to him?
nothing. Like, no, like when we had like this whole weird fight before everything ended, I blocked him everywhere. Because I was like, no, I don't want to like see or talk to him. But then I catch myself some moments like think about him and be like, should I call maybe? And just like, even though like we don't have to be like together or like date, but maybe I should call him just to squash it and just to be, cool and grown, because the way we left off wasn't really nice, not for me and I don't think for him as well. But at the same time, I'm like, nah, you don't deserve me. You don't deserve my time anymore. So
Right.
yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
Right. And why did y'all end things?
We did end things because I don't know. First of all, like he was seeing other girls, which was I was okay with that. I think he got a bit weird when I told him about the fact that I think he's gonna have to choose, because I was not really comfortable keep seeing him while he's also seeing other girls, because I don't know if he was also like having sex with them, yes or no. Those were like information that I didn't have, but like I wanted to protect myself as well in a way.
Mm-hmm.
by not getting hurt, but also be vocal and tell him what I want
Mm-hmm.
moving forward. Just so that he knew. It was not like something that I told him and then the next day he would like make a decision. That was not like that. I just wanted him to know what I was, thinking about and feeling.
Right.
And in my mind, or in that moment, he took it well, but I think after it was a bit like, oh, she's going too fast, I think. And then I saw him a couple of times. And then after that, I saw him at a club with another girl, and he told me about we were on a date. And then that was also a really weird vibe in that moment. And then a few days later, I was in his house, hanging out with him. And then later that week, I saw him again on the street, and then he got like a bit weird and mad, like, this is the second time that I see you. Like, almost like he thought that I was stalking him, and I got a bit hurt by that because I was like, why would I ever stalk you? So I don't know. I think he got a bit in his head, and I think because he felt that I called him on like a lie or anything. I don't know. It was just weird, and yeah, the vibes were off from that day. And then I was. That's a moment when I knew like, okay, I need to actually leave and stop this. Stop seeing this guy, even though it was really fun and all. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like this. I'm really mad, even though it was really short period. But I'm really super mad and hurt. But yeah, I just want to get over it. Also, just to know next time if I go through something like this again, or I'm seeing someone, like, what's the best thing to do in these situations.
Yeah, I mean, time is the only thing.
Yeah.
Time and also processing your emotions. So allowing yourself to feel what you feel without storytelling, without creating some sort of narrative. Just allow yourself to say that you're hurt and feel the grief. Right. And then it'll pass. I doubt you'll be in this situation for more than a month. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta feel your feelings, and that'll help you kind of release that tether. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you like trying to get into a relationship? It sounds like that's what you're looking for.
I do, because I was in a relationship for 5 years, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 2 years now that we've broken up, and like I moved on from that relationship. I'm totally like okay, and he moved on as well, has his own life and whatever. But
Gotcha.
I am ready. Like I feel like I'm in a position where I wanna
I'm gonna tell you
be in a
right now.
relationship and have,
I'm gonna tell you right now. Dating apps.
yeah.
I would love to release all the ladies who are hearing the sound of my voice from the shackles of dating apps, because you put yourself. Let me tell you something. You're going to most likely end up in a situationship. The reason for that is women tend to default to the best looking man who is matching with them, right? And that may not be the man who you could realistically be with in real life. But in a dating
Yeah.
app context, you can do it because he wants to sleep with you. If this was real life, though, y'all probably wouldn't end up together. So that creates a dynamic where, like, that's why there's so many situationships. It's these dating apps. That's why a situationship for a woman is the exact same thing as the friend zone for a man. They're the same thing. It's the same, and that'll hurt the ego when you look at it that way, because it's the same
Yeah.
exact thing. The friend zone for a man is like the woman getting what she wants and the man not getting what he wants, right? The situationship is the man getting what he wants, but the woman not getting what she wants. Same shit, right?
Yeah.
And it happens all the time on these dating apps because y'all are trying to get the best possible option on that app,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So it's
true.
like
Yeah.
don't even sabotage it. Just know you're like that and don't put yourself in that environment. If you know you're like that, be like, I'm just not going to, unless you're just someone who wants to have fun. If that's the situation, I mean,
Yeah,
do what
that's
you want.
exactly not that's opposite. That's not
Right.
what I want.
But if
at
you want a
all.
relationship, don't do it, because
Yeah.
you're going to put yourself in a situation for a situationship, and you're not going to be able to help yourself, because it's like, why would I talk to someone who looks worse than this person? Right? It don't make logical sense, right? Of course, you're going to go for the best looking person you can, but
Yeah.
that person is not going to take you seriously. He's not. He's going to want to just sleep with you.
Yeah.
I've talked to women who've been in situationships for years, man. Years. Waiting for some sort of commitment. Just deluding themselves that it's going to happen one day. So, like,
Yeah.
you want to not even don't even tempt fate. Don't even put yourself in this situation. Just If you want a relationship, get off the apps.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true. Because even my cousin told me, she was like, leave those apps alone.
Right. Right.
And I'm like, yeah, well, you go on bars, you go like outside, like I do stuff, and you meet people, and then nothing happens. And then you're like, okay, let me try. At least let me try, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I always say put yourself in static environments. Those are environments where you see the same people over and over again. For all of human history, that's how we paired up. Static. We used to live in like very small like tribes, right? Small communities, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you still wanted the best guy, but it was the best guy within that small community. It was easier thing to do, to pull off. Now you're trying to get the best guy globally because of social media and dating apps. So you're comparing guys globally. You're trying to get the best guy out of the global marketplace. It just doesn't work, man. It doesn't play out. It just leaves a lot of people frustrated. So you going to bars and stuff like that isn't the solution. The solution is do what has always worked, which is put yourself in static environments where you can see the same people over and over again. Talk to people platonically, talk to people romantically, right? And you'll also be treated better in those environments, right? Because when you are dating within an environment that has a kind of a community feel, people are more cognizant of their reputation, right? If we go to like the same community type of environment, you know people there, I know people there, right? The people you know the people I know. So considering that we're connected to that degree, if I want to deal with you romantically, I'm likely not going to treat you poorly, right? Meaning I'm likely not going to ghost you, because if I ghost you, my reputation is going to take a hit in this environment. Compare that to dating apps. I don't know nobody you know. You don't know nobody I know. So I can treat you however I want to treat you, because even if I do treat you foul, my reputation ain't going to take a hit because you don't know anyone connected to me.
Yeah.
Right? So just anywhere you slice it, it's just a better play. And you're more likely to connect with someone romantically, because the problem with dating apps is it doesn't match how we actually pair off together, right? The only thing the only way you can judge the men on the apps are how they look, because it's an app, right? But in real life, you probably had this experience maybe in school, maybe at your job, where you came across a guy who you weren't repulsed by, but he wasn't someone who like you weren't drooling over him, right? But through talking with him, through spending time with him, you're like, oh, I like this guy, right? He's funny, he's charming, right? You may even develop some sort of attraction for him. Maybe y'all end up in a relationship, right? Maybe he's the best guy you ever dated. You see what I'm saying? Because you are able to take in all of him, his vibe, his aura, his charisma, his personality, his values. But that same guy on a dating app, you wouldn't even give the time of day, because you wouldn't have all that information. You would only be able to judge him off of his pictures.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a better strategy. It's a better strategy. Daryl says most girls won't go for that guy, though. They do it every day, Daryl. It's like we have social media brain. You gotta like really live life. If you go out, I promise you, a lot of women who are in relationships, especially the people they met in person, they're with likely a guy like that. So that would be my advice, love, is to get off the apps if you want a relationship and start doing things the old-fashioned way and talking to people and meeting people. Okay?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna take that advice for sure. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Well, best of luck to you. Keep me posted, all right?
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Let me see who we got next. Mindset. Okay, he probably already dropped. Hello.
Peace.
How's it going?
How are you?
Good. What can I do for you?
Pardon me, what'd you say? Sorry.
I said, what can I do for you?
Oh yeah, so it's funny that y'all speak on that topic, because the dude I'm dealing with right now, my boyfriend, we actually like met in the club. It was very natural. I was out for my birthday with my friend, just me and her. We just went to go have fun. And I'm not looking for anybody. I'm just simply going to have fun because it's my birthday.
Right.
Um, Me and my friend go to the section and I sit on the booth. She goes behind me, sit down, but falls. And they see her fall, so they like help her up, give her a shot, like here you go, because that's embarrassing. So
Mm-hmm.
then they see us and invite us in their section. The section whose section it was my boyfriend's, but at the time I didn't know any of this, so he didn't, and he wasn't the one who asked. One of his friends was. So at the time, my boyfriend was saying it was his birthday weekend too, and his friends of like 15 years plus from like middle school, high school, they were all in that section with him, and he was sick that night, so he wasn't really talking to anybody. But he seen the incident that happened and invited us in because he seen me. So off that, I'm just like, okay, on his behalf, after all of this, is like, okay, so his was physical attraction. We're in the section chilling, like me and some of his girlfriends exchange social media. I'm not knowing their dynamic outside of that night until we started like getting to know each other. So, and I'm an inside person. Like I don't be outside. But this specific friend, I met a friend like 3 years ago at this job, Shake Shack. They had standards as far as treat people how you want to be treated. Just standard. And like it's like these are in place, but y'all treating people like very wrong. And why are the standards here if y'all not gonna follow them? So you gotta follow along. Y'all talking about where's the story going? You just gotta follow. I'm gonna ask a question, but so just get the dynamic. The girl.
Okay. The mods are muting you, love, because we got to get to the point soon. Okay. So go ahead and unmute yourself, and let's try to get like bullet points of the rest of the situation.
Okay, so more of the story is fast forward. We get to know each other. We hanging out. We liking each other. Vibe, personality. Take it a little further. Now, yeah, we did move a little quickly, but we felt the connection. Like, he from LA, I'm from LA. We moved to Atlanta. We're in Atlanta now. Why yesterday, I'm up in the tree after all of this, and it's a LA out of branches. Like, just coincidentally in his backyard. Like, it's just, I feel like all this happened for a reason. So, the whole thing is, because we moved too fast and he had me over his house, I've been here ever since. And I sat back and watched, because he told me, like, hey, I have friends. I also have girls as friends. She been my best friend for 15 years. Like, we've slept in bed together with different covers, head to feet. My mom accepted her. She didn't have people. I was the only child. So I get the dynamic. I get they've been there. And, he battles from things because he was a basketball player. He's 7 feet. He had an injury with his back, so now he can't play basketball. So, that takes a toll on people when that's something they really want to do or passion. So the issue was because when he, fell into that, his support system was his 15-year friendships with these women and men that have been there since high school, middle school.
Okay.
But it's like the foundation is just giving like trauma bonding, like emotional attachments. Like we can't let go of the past and move forward and start our own lives. But the thing is, some of them did do that. To where it's like, why when he asked for boundaries in his own house, y'all are flipping the script and crying and like make.
Okay. All right, Yoshi. Unfortunately, the mods removed you. It's just the story time was insufferable, love. We got to get to the point. Anyone who comes up, start with the question first. That's just painful to listen to. I don't know why him being 7 feet was important to the story at all. Michelle, what's going on? Michelle dropped like I thought it was Shorty from Good Times. All right. If you have a question, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, and I'll bring you up. If not, you can drop your question in the chat. I'm actually curious where she was going with that. I mean, I was too, man. I was about to drift though. I can't take all them details, man. We need beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, middle, and end. Okay, that's it. That's all we need. I'll ask all the questions after that, all right? So again, if you have a question or a problem pertaining to dating and relationships, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I'll bring you up. Alternatively, you can drop your question in the chat. What's up, Joe?
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I have a question.
Okay.
What does it mean when your partner says that their boundary is to have girls as their friends, including one of their exes? Granted that one of them, I understand he had 7 years with her. I get that. And I'm not here to like control him. That's out of my control, right?
Right.
But I want to understand from a male's perspective, you know, what that means, if it even exists in the male psyche.
How long have y'all been together?
So we are long distance. That's one.
Ooh.
We're 19 months. We have seen each other, so it's not just like online thing, right? We have visited each other back and forth.
Right. I got you.
But one of my insecurities is just knowing that he has friends as girls. Now, he's not flamboyant. He's a Southern man from North Carolina, bearded and everything, just like you.
Hey, there you go.
So, you know, I go out there, you know, I know who he is. I trust him. However, for me, it doesn't sink well for him to just blatantly say it's a boundary. So what does that really, like, say?
It likely means that he's had women in the past try to stop him from seeing his friends. And now he just leads with it like, I'm not changing this.
Of course, and I get that. But, okay, so it doesn't scream like a red flag or...
Well,
you know what
I
mean?
didn't say all
There's
that.
a silver lining into that or something. You know what I mean? That's why I'm asking. That's why
I
I'm
didn't say
questioning.
all of that now. Okay, so how many women are present?
From what I know of, a couple. And then his 7-year relationship with his ex, one of his first, he's still friends with. Family's close to her too, but she's married now. So that's another layer to that. So that's why I'm like, okay. So I guess for me, I just want to feel like a little regulated about that. I'm also very like aware, but just I never heard that before, you know?
Gotcha.
Girls as friends, right?
So were you aware of these relationships before y'all got together?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was named. Yeah, that was named.
Okay. All right. I mean, typically when you get into it and you already know there's a situation, it's very hard to try to change things on the back end, right? So like you entering into the relationship with already knowing those relationships were present,
right?
Kind of implies you're okay with it.
Okay. And I am, right? Because ultimately, I wouldn't want to ruin the relationship, telling him what to do and none of that. It's a really mature relationship. But my burning question was just that, right? What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's unwise, right?
Got it.
Again,
Okay.
it's unwise. I would love for you to hypothetically see you tell him that you're hanging out with one of your exes.
I have.
And what'd he say?
Very nonchalant. And I don't know if it has to do with like his zodiac sign. He's a Libra. There's a thing about Libra men.
So he didn't care?
He has a way of not showing emotions. But
even when he cares about it?
Yeah, he won't say. That's another thing. He's very avoidant.
Like from like an attachment perspective?
Yeah.
So you think he's avoidantly attached?
I think so.
Why do you
it's
think?
very hard for him to come across with his emotions or anything like that.
Okay.
It's very logical. But romantically between each other, it's fine, you know. But I don't know. I'm dealing with a complicated man.
How frequently do you see him?
We see each other. Well, last year was our full year, right? So we would see each other maybe 3 or 4 times, back and forth, total.
In a year?
Yeah, and
Okay.
then I'm up to go see him later this March.
How did y'all meet?
So he's a really spiritual guy. We met through an app called Pattern, and it's an astrological website app, and then there's like a section where you could do dating. I don't know if you're familiar with that app. Maybe.
No, I'm not, but
Okay.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I think that's my little hunch too, right? So yeah.
I mean, like him not reacting to you saying that you were hanging out with your ex is gives me more confidence that there's nothing going on with him and his women friends,
Okay.
right?
Right. Okay.
But you did say that you feel like he's avoidant. Problem with
Yeah.
this,
Like I
avoidant,
know he has friendships, but they're not really brought to the light.
that ain't what I'm talking about.
Okay.
You said he's avoidant. Again, I'm assuming that you're correcting your assessment, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You saying that he's avoidant. I mean, it would check out if he avoids any kind of vulnerable talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't speak about emotions, things of that nature. But
Yeah.
the problem is, avoidantly attached people tend to be very open to long distance relationships because it serves the function of keeping intimacy at bay.
Okay.
And a lot of people realize that once they start to try to close the gap in a long distance relationship with an avoidant, that's when they deal with the avoidant discard and all the other kind of stuff.
Okay. Good to know. That's helpful. All right. Well, thank you very much. I won't keep up a lot of here because people be telling a lot of stories.
All right, Jeff. Well,
Thank
best of
you
luck,
for
love.
the insight. Thank
Absolutely. You take care.
you. Bye. You too.
All right, Sophia, what's going on?
So, like, remember I was here earlier talking about how, like, my fiance, like, he's very avoidant, like, he does not like to communicate. So we have, like, a problem that arises in our relationship, and he just won't talk about it, and it has been a day or two. So today he came from work, but we're living together, and I was just cooking dinner. I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna not say anything and let's see how this goes. And surprisingly, he the one that was like, come here, let's talk. So it was very surprising coming from like, do you just need time to process or you just want to talk? So he got straight to the point. This when you do this, makes me feel X, Y, and Z. And when I do this, my understanding is upsetting. What can we do about it? So we talk. And after we talk, I'm like, how do you feel if we just try? You know, premarital counseling. We're just like, you know, counseling. He was like, let's try it. If anything, for our relationship, let's do it. Because a lot of African men come from like, I'm not doing it. Therapy doesn't work. So it's like kind of surprising that he when I actually make it work. I'm like, so do you actually care for this relationship that you know, putting your bias to the side to just try this and to communicate? So is that a good? I mean, I guess it's a good thing. Like from a man point of view, what does that do? He just needs time to process because he told me as a man, sometimes like when I receive information, I just want to process it and talk to you about it. I'm like, okay. Because I'm a person, like, if I have to say something, I'm going to say right then and there, and I want to answer.
Okay. I vaguely remember this story. What did I tell you earlier?
Sometimes I avoid it, man. It's like in therapy, it doesn't work for them sometimes. But we can give it a try.
Okay, yeah. Try it and see what happens. Yeah, I mean, they're avoidant people. You know, it's not like you can't be with avoidant people. It's just you have to know the rules of engagement, right? So, like, if you're the type of person who wants to, like, settle things right then and there, they don't operate that way. They gotta take a second, dissect it, and then they may come back. So the proper way to deal with an avoidant is like, hey, I want to talk about this. No pressure. Just let me know when you want to talk about it, right? That gives them the second to go ahead and mentally prepare, and then they'll come to you when you're ready. A lot of people resent having to do that because they're like, why should I have to accommodate? And it's like, okay, if you feel that way, don't be with an avoidant person, right? So
yeah, as long as we talk, like I'm not like gonna give you pressure. We have to talk now, but as long as you tell me I need to process, and we can talk about it when I'm ready. You know.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, keep me posted on how it goes, all right?
Oh yeah. Thank you.
All right, love. Take care. Chris, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Chilling.
So my question for you is, it's kind of like not relationship wise, but me and my ex just broke up on Sunday, and we were together for 2 years, and we lived together for a year and a half. I guess, what do you think is the biggest advice when going through like this type of stuff? Do you think it is important to not have contact with this person and kind of just heal and whatnot and like not go back, or what do you think I should be doing right now?
Yeah, definitely go no contact. I would at least mute them on social media if you still follow them. I wouldn't be mad if you had to block them, right? So you don't want any kind of reminders, okay, of the person. And you need to feel. To process an emotion means to fully feel it, not to think about it, right? So you have to create space to actually feel the emotions that come up, the grief that comes up, right? Because you're going to have to grieve the connection. But that doesn't mean you just sulk all day, right? You also need to transmute that emotion to progress, okay? So that means that you can use that emotion as fuel to make progress on a meaningful goal. This is the good time to reflect on what you want out of life and start making progress on whatever goal has the most meaning attached to it. Okay. Lastly, I would lean upon your support system. So family, friends, people of that nature, people who love and care about you and you feel good in their presence, spend time with them.
Do you think I should be deleting photos and whatnot right now or no?
Yes. You may not have to do that right this second, but at the very least, don't look at them.
Okay.
Right, but I would definitely recommend deleting the photos because it's just you want to rid your environment of as many triggers as possible.
Okay, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
No problem, Chief. You take care.
You too.
King.
What's up, my man?
What's up, Chief?
Kicking it. What advice would you give to like? Just trying to say this without like being too like. I try to think before I speak. You know what I'm saying? I don't like doing verbal vomit like that.
Right.
So like, gender aside, like male or female, when you get a space when you work on yourself, and I feel like if you be single long enough, anything that seems like if you create a peaceful life for yourself, anything that seems like a slight inconvenience, it's like I don't even feel like dealing with this no more. It's like you get avoidant, if that makes sense. What advice do you give like a early 30-year-old man as far as like allowing yourself to have room for another woman to come into your space?
Okay. I would be conscious of what non-negotiables you have, right? So yeah, it is an aspect of avoidance there. But you could also just like appreciate your autonomy. It tends to happen when you get a little bit older, right?
Yeah.
It's easier to merge your life with somebody when you're young because neither one of you really know who you are yet. But then the older you get, the more like crystallized your identity becomes, and you're like, it gets harder to kind of like merge lives. But
I think,
go ahead.
It's just like, at this age when you date women, like naturally, I get it. They're gonna want to like hit you with when a man knows he knows type shit, like on some like rushing it, and I'm not really on that. Like, I'm not saying I want to take 10 years to get married or nothing, but I want us to have a real foundation before I just like make a decision like that. But like I feel like it's hard to do that early on if you've already created a piece for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You make good money, you work out, you go to therapy, you in your spiritualness, and you be like, first inconvenience, I'm like, nah, I'm straight. It's like I'm trying not to do that, you know what I'm saying, anymore, because I don't think that's allowing a space for a woman to be human in my life.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't think it's fair.
Yeah, and that's so. Let's zoom out for a second. When you say when a man knows what he wants, he moves quickly. Are you referring to like relationship or like marriage?
Yeah, like I feel like I've dated, like I moved to this new city. I ain't gonna say what city, but I'm from Atlanta. I say that, like
Okay.
from Stone Mountain, really. But like I feel like when I moved to the city, I met women that was just like we'll date for a little bit, we'll get to know each other, and there's like boom, they want to hop in a relationship. I'm like, we only know each other a month or two. You know what I mean? Like can I get to know you just a little bit longer before we like make a decision like that?
Right.
And they want to move in type shit. Like they want to move into my crib. I'm like,
Like
wait a minute,
literally?
man. Huh?
Like literally?
Literally, like believing shit. Like want to come every day. I'm like,
Gotcha.
you want to tell them you can't. You gotta set a boundary that you can't like have people come over. But like,
Right.
damn.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
like,
I got you.
give me a second, something.
Exactly. There ain't nothing wrong with that. It's okay. So
They're not homeless too, Chad. Y'all funny. No, they just.
someone
I
said
get
they
what they
homeless.
own. I get it. It's like if you see something that's like, if they feel like it's something that they want,
Yeah.
and vice versa, they be like, you know what, let me.
They want to lock it down
go
fast.
throttle 'em type shit.
Right. How you meeting them?
The last few, I met one at Trader Joe's. I met another one at this poetry night I went to down here. And then the third one we met at this bar.
Okay. Okay. So I can't say this for certain, but I definitely think that you likely are avoidant.
For sure.
Yeah, I have a client who's avoidant. I had to tell him the same thing because it's like I just saw a guy in the chat like, "How are you meeting these women?" Because men are having such like, depending on your attachment style, you have a different experience of the dating marketplace, right? So the guy who was just like, "How are you meeting these women?" He probably has experience like, I don't really have women trying to like lock me down that quickly, right? Avoidant men do though. When you're an avoidant man, especially one who's attractive and has her shit together, you don't have a problem with like women trying to stick around because you're unconsciously selecting for anxiously attached women, which is why they're trying to move in so quick. Which is why they're trying to, and you like anxiously attached women because they'll carry the relationship and they make you feel good about how into you they are. It's validating.
Yeah, ego stroking, that's what I say.
Right. So that's really the core of the issue here. Is that avoidant attachment. I was gonna go a whole nother direction until you told me that. So like that's the real thing to start working on. Is you say you're in therapy, right? Have y'all talked about that?
Yeah, my therapist's cool. We talk every second Wednesday of the month. She told me in October because I was like, I told her, I just don't want to live this life. I'm just jumping from woman to woman. I'm not really old. I'm too old for that. Like, I'm tired of that. Like, I actually want a wife and a family. She said, man, Rakeem, just embrace where you are right now. Like, embrace where you at in life right now. As far as like, if you live in a bachelor life, live it to the fullest. If that's what you are, don't try to avoid what it is right now. But I'm just like, I'm not really trying to do that.
I disagree with that totally.
You said what?
I disagree with that totally.
I mean, I think she was trying to say, like, I'm lying to myself. Like, you may say you want this, but you have this avoidant vibe of yourself where, like, you don't allow people to be human. So if you're going to do that, do it all the way, but don't fake it, which I kind of get.
Okay, I agree with that.
When the right person comes in, you'll be ready because you didn't fake it.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
So I disagree, then I agree, and I disagree. That whole right person comes out of bullshit. Not when you're avoidant. That ain't how it works, really. So the avoidance side is like you have to kind of, when it comes to like attachment style, you kind of have to go against like your natural inclination. An anxious person is going to have to go, because your attachment style will even control how you think. When you're activated, it will give you thoughts. You start thinking from the feeling, right? So it's like anxious people have to like fight against their natural impulses. Avoidant people have to fight against their impulses as well. And you can only heal your attachment style within relationship. You can become more aware of it in isolation, right? You can talk to a therapist and become more aware of like your patterns and stuff like that, but you're not going to really change it until you put yourself in a situation to be triggered, right? So, what do you like about these women who you are dating currently, or who you dated in the past who tried to move in and stuff like that?
Had to say, I'm really big. I pay attention to how women treat other women and like how they treat other people. So like if I see you treating like other people, like I pay attention to how other women receive you. As far as like how you walk in the room and like if you have like you may not be the most attractive, or like you may be the most attractive, but your energy like steals the room type shit. So like that's kind of what I look for as far as like I give you an example. If I take a girl on a date, one thing I pay attention to the most is how you treat the waiter. Like I pay attention to that very, like that's like yes or no, this gonna be a second date. Like soon if I see you like giving the waiter any type of attitude, it's over with. So how you treat the waiter and how you receive the waiter at the dinner is kind of like, those are the kind of women I usually date, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay. What I would tell you to do, man, I would write down like a non-negotiable list. A reasonable non-negotiable list of like, if these behaviors are displayed, I'll dip out. I'll give myself an out to go ahead and leave. If someone is not engaged in the behavior that's listed out on that non-negotiable list, you have to continue seeing them.
Sure.
For a while, right? That'll be a good little stopgap that'll inform your behavior so that you don't default to avoidant tendencies. Right? Right now you're going off of just like gut feeling. Like, oh, I don't like this, I'm out. Now you have another thing to check that. It's like a check balance system. It's like, I don't like that, but it's not on my list. So let me stick it out a little bit more, right? And then see if that helps you a bit. But that's just a Band-Aid solution, by the way. You're still gonna have to like work on actually healing the avoidant attachment, because that's gonna be the core of your issue. Okay.
I thought it was me not like, if I like don't see somebody working on themselves, I just be like, I'm straight. But
well, that's like a deactivating strategy, right? So avoidant people, what happens is when someone starts to get close or they start to like amnesia you feel like your autonomy is being taken away, your independence is being taken away. What will happen is you'll unconsciously look for flaws. Happens all the time. You'll unconsciously look for flaws. For you, you probably won't even think you're doing it. You're like, no, I actually don't like this. And it's like, well, you'll know it sometimes with avoidance because like the flaw they found will be the same thing the person did 2 months ago and it wasn't that big of an issue. But it's this big of an issue now because you feel your independence being taken away. So now it's like a justification for you to create distance and remove yourself from the connection.
Sure.
Right. So it's just going to become...
I don't want to take all the questions.
Are you good, Chief? You good? But definitely keep me posted, all right?
Yeah, I got you. And to answer the girl question, I work on myself every day. You know, nobody's perfect. You know, I
right,
try every day
right,
to be
exactly.
1% better than I was yesterday.
My man.
Aspect of life.
All right, bro. You take care of yourself, man.
All right.
All right. Tom, what's going on?
Oh, what up, my guy? You know, I learned a lot the last time I spoke to you. I think it was like a week or two ago. We talked about the whole how do you keep relationships from getting stagnant.
You're Latina.
Type thing.
You with the Latino, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm having a hard time tonight. Really just needed to get it out there, and I don't know. Just ask a question. I'm a bit of an emotional guy, so
you're good.
I'm trying not to break up right now, but I'm like on the verge. I'm sitting outside the gym, just thinking about going pump some iron because I just need to get it going. But why? It's going to be kind of a stupid question, but because everything's different. But
okay,
why do people move on so quickly? For example, you know my scenario, that the Latina, and I love her to death, and I'm having a really hard time letting her go because she chose something. She's with someone else, not publicly, but I know she is. Because remember, I didn't tell her that I knew that she's been with someone else, and she's currently still pursuing the said guy.
Right.
Why? I know I have my flaws. I know I had my problems, but she's portraying me to close friends that I was the toxic ex, that I was the one who destroyed her, manipulated her, and all I've been trying to do since we broke up is learn how to grow and make the changes that I needed and I wanted to make.
Right.
For us. That she promised me when I got home, because I'm active duty military. I was away from home, and she basically Dear John me. So, why is it that some people are able to move on so quickly while others are stuck?
It's a complicated thing, man, because it's like, on the one hand, a lot of women, when they break up with you, they've already broken up with you mentally 6 months prior, if not more, right? So when they do make a clean break, that means they've already grieved their relationship while still being in it. So when they leave, it's cleaner. Men, when we break up, it's more reactionary. It's like something happens. I don't like this. Let's leave, right? There's a difference in how we handle it. I'm not saying that all women do that, because I've heard of some men doing the exact same thing I just told you that women do. Like, leave emotionally first, then they leave, right? So it's not like 100%, but that general pattern sticks. So that's the first reason. Second reason is like, okay, what attachment styles are at play, right? Like some people, when they leave relationships, they need to regulate, and they use another person to regulate. Regulate just means like make themselves feel better. Doesn't mean they're in love with the person or anything like that. It just means that, some people can't be alone. So they need someone to kind of occupy that space for a while. Some people want to know that they're still desirable, right? So they immediately try to deal with somebody. But none of it is a reflection of you.
No, I get that. I think right now I'm more hung up on the fact that she literally fucking she dropped me at the airport because I had to go out like within 24 hours for like a month and a half or two. And she was like, literally, I finished packing my bags, dropped me at the airport and said, I don't know if I can do this, and left me on a flight for 8 hours, sitting there wondering what the hell just happened.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though, bro.
Strategically, I get that.
But what you have to take from that is that's who she really is, bro.
I hate this, man.
Right.
Why? I'm so hung up on this girl for no reason at this point, I guess.
Yeah. But you also need to understand you're hung up on who you thought she was, not who she really is.
Fair.
Right. What you saw at the end was who she really is. That was a very selfish act. And it was a cowardly act. Okay. So when you are trying to move on yourself, you have to be careful not to remember a fantasy. When you catch yourself just remembering of like the happy times and the things you did with her, force yourself to remember the bad times too. Force yourself to remember how she did you at the end. Okay? That way you have an accurate picture of who this person is. I'm not saying just remember the bad times. I'm just saying don't create a fantasy. Know who this person is. Take in all of it. That will help you move on. Right? That will help you move on. And then this is going to inform you on how to move forward. Right? to not
Yeah.
create fantasies of the people who you're with to begin with. Because even the way you described the relationship, you were kind of like, you were more so in a relationship with the fantasy of who you thought this woman was.
Yeah, no, I'm a very happy-go-lucky person. I'm loyal, committed. I don't the whole military background. You know, everybody thinks, oh, military, he's gonna sleep around with anyone and everyone. That's just the general thought, and it's for the furthest from the truth for me. When I commit to someone, I don't talk, I don't do anything with anyone. And like I said, I was with her for 4 years, so I was ready to pull out the ring, put it down, and go to work,
Right.
and make this thing true. And all of a sudden, she hit me with this, man.
Right. But here's the thing, though. Had that happened, there's an alternate reality where she didn't break up with you when y'all got married. And guess what? You were miserable in that marriage. Miserable. Because, you know, that's who the person really is. This happened. This was actually one of the best things that could happen. Just because something hurts doesn't mean it's wrong or bad.
I'm just trying so hard to see it that way.
Yeah.
My house is empty. She took all the furniture and everything, and I got nothing. There's just an echo of me and my dog, and she took the other dog because I can't handle both of them on my own.
Right.
And she's over here. She wants to co-parent the dogs. I don't know if I can do that, knowing that she's sleeping with someone else so quickly after our relationship. And again, I haven't told her because I'm not going to be resentful, and I'm not going to be bitter towards her, because that's not who I am.
Right.
But I don't know how to let go. I've been trying, man. I've been trying so hard.
It's still fresh, man.
I have no one here. I'm in the middle of freaking nowhere. There's nobody around me. I got very limited friends because, you know, military people are always moving, always going new places. So
Right.
every time I connect with someone, they just, oh, congrats, you're going to freaking Europe. Great.
It's a rough
So
situation,
I
man.
recommend moving on. How do you dive into things to move on and let her go? Because
It's gonna take time, bro. Like, it's not something that, like, it's gonna suck for a while. You have to embrace that. It's gonna suck for a while, but you do what you can, right? You just keep moving. You keep moving. You use this opportunity to invite new energy into your life, right? That can take form of platonic connections. That's kind of what I did when my relationship ended, right? With the mother of my child, right? I was in a city where I didn't really know anybody. It was just me and my family. I didn't know anybody, right? When we broke up, I started making friends almost immediately.
I don't even have my family either. They weren't the greatest of people, and they were, if I'm honest with you, they were kind of borderline racist towards her, and I cut them off because I was like, I'm not playing that game.
Well, when I say family, I'm talking about my lady and my son, not like mother, father. Okay. So I wasn't in your exact situation, but it was somewhat similar, right? Well, I didn't have anybody there, so I went out and I started to meet people one by one. Invite new energy into your life, right?
New
Do new
energy,
things.
stay busy, and I'm seeing people saying hobbies.
Hobbies.
dive into them.
If you have a higher power, right? Tap into that as well. It's also something I did, right? So you want to feel your emotions. Like, crying is good. Get that grief out, right? And you'll shed more tears, more than likely. That's fine. It's good.
Freaking doing that in a gym parking lot is crazy.
Yeah. Just don't do it on the bench press, right? We don't need you dropping 315 on your chest.
Oh, no kidding. I
Because you're
don't
sobbing. But
just because I'm sad don't mean I want to die.
right, exactly. So you'll make it through it, man. You just gotta take it day by day, bro.
Okay.
That's it. You gotta take it day by day. You're strong enough to handle it. You'll be stronger on the other side of this, right? And you'll meet somebody else who's a better fit. I know that don't feel good now because you just want the person you had, but there's a version of
That's
you
the
like
worst
a
part.
year or two from now who looks back on the situation like that was one of the better things that could have happened.
Well, I guess I got that to look forward to, and that can be my motivation.
Cling to it, brother, and you're always free to come back too, man. If you need to talk,
I
DMs
will.
open as well. All right.
You've always got good advice, good tips, and good tricks to get me out of the mental hole I'm in. So I appreciate you.
Absolutely, Tom. You take care of yourself, brother. Come back, all right?
I will.
All right, Chief. All right, Richmond, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. How about you?
Chilling, bro. What can I do for you?
All right, I got 2 questions. I think I'll give you the questions and provide context as I go.
All right.
If that's fine with you.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So I guess the first question is, am I in a relationship or a situationship? And then the follow up to that is, should I even consider this for even potentially marriage? And here's the context. So I recently graduated from university. And what that means is I dated this young lady in university, and we got to know each other for about 2 or so years approximately. And of course, like another piece of context is she is not from this country. So she is an international student, and I am a U.S. citizen. And she, at the end of graduation, had to return to her country. And we were toward like dawdling in the middle of that last year of like, should we continue or should we split? And I personally wanted to see it through, and I wanted to leave things on a good note. And she couldn't deal with the mental anguish that would come at some point. So we ended up splitting toward the later end of the semester and pretty close to graduation. However, we still did relationship things. So with that being said, I guess my question is like, we still are friends, we still are in a relationship. And fast forward to, I guess, the beginning of this year, we basically are picking up pieces of what was left of it and just chilling and being in a relationship and still doing relationship things, although we're back in 2 different states of our lives. So she's already working in her country, and I'm already working here. And I guess we still have some unresolved things going on, but like honestly and truthfully, I don't know if I should even get into all of that. But it seems like we're almost rebuilding our relationship because of. I'm sorry, I had to heard the echo, but like it seems like we're rebuilding what's left of our relationship, and I guess trying to make it work and even consider marriage long term. But she does not want the title presently because she's, I guess, focusing on her life. And she, once upon a time, wanted that title last year when I wasn't ready because I was a bit hesitant. I just wanted to see the relationship through to the end, like I said. And now I guess the roles are reversed. And now I want the title. And she doesn't because she's going through so much. But we're still doing relationship things. Like we have a trip coming up, and I guess we're going to go to a country together and I guess do things together, and I maybe even consider a title then, but I wanted a title earlier and she no longer wants it. Like I guess I'm flip-flopping between, am I in a relationship, am I not in a relationship, should I let this go or should I just let this come as it is type of deal. I don't know if I provided a good context to all of that.
Okay. So how long have you been seeing her?
Yeah, like I said, about 2 years now.
2 years. Okay. And how long have y'all been effectively long distance?
About, what is it, 2 months now?
2 months.
Coming up
Okay.
to 3.
Okay. And when you said title, you being like boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
What country did she go back to?
I kind of want to keep that private.
Okay.
But I'd say in the Caribbean.
Okay. I mean, you are in a situationship, right? Because you're not in a relationship. So
yeah.
That's the first question. And the second question was what?
Uh, I guess since we're doing relationship things still and like planning a trip and whatnot to see each other, and we are talking about like future things in terms of a relationship, of having a marriage and all of that. Should I even consider that, seeing that we're both young, and I heard like divorce rates are for my age is like pretty high, and if you wait a few years, it significantly decreases.
How old are you two?
I'm 23. She's 22.
Okay. When you said that she wanted a title, how long ago was that?
Maybe 6 to 8 months ago.
And what did you tell her?
I guess I didn't foresee. How can I even say this? I didn't see us. I didn't see myself doing a long distance relationship because I've had previous experiences where either girls have called me on the phone with a guy, or someone outright tells me like, "Hey, if I did a long distance relationship with you, I would cheat." So I opted for seeing the relationship through to its end and trying to make it the best experience for her.
How did she respond to you turning her down?
She couldn't deal or bear the brunt of that, I guess. And like fast forward a few months after that initial conversation, we broke up because she started to resent the fact that the relationship was going to come to an end.
Wait, so she broke up with you because of that?
Pretty much, yeah. I like to tell people it was a mutual agreement, but yeah, pretty much I'd say yeah.
Okay. Okay. What did she say when she did that?
Honestly, since it was a traumatic time in my life, I mean, one of the emotionally charged times in my life, I don't recall, maybe I blocked a lot of that out. But I can't recall off the top of my head what she said.
Okay. Okay. So she wanted a relationship, you turned her down, and then she tried to like end things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But y'all didn't end things.
No, it continued after that point, but without the title.
Okay. So you are in a situationship. I saw somebody saying green card marriage. I don't think this is a green card marriage situation. If it was, she would have very quickly agreed to you being in a relationship when you brought that back to her awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that was really her motivation, she would have took that opportunity. So I think she actually does like you, but you did decrease safety when you turned her down, right? Because you said that was 8 months ago, so y'all have been seeing each other for like a year, over a year at that point, right?
Yeah.
So that felt like a rejection of her. That's not like we're moving too fast. That felt like, oh, you're rejecting me because you know me, because we've been seeing each other for a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, trust was gone. I mean, feel free to continue seeing her, right? But I wouldn't try to get married anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Until you get more data, right? Like first, obviously, try to see if she, opens back up, warms back up to a relationship. Did you ever explain to her why?
Yeah, we've had countless, or at least I've tried my best to explain it to her, as to why I don't do long distance relationship. Even I met her family, her father in particular, and explained the same situation. And he even reassured me that like she's not that type of person. Regardless, when you experience trauma like that from your past relationships, you don't even want to risk it. So like I just explained that to them, and I mean whether they accepted it or not was not my prerogative.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, it's a wait and see situation. I wouldn't wait forever, right? Like if I certainly wouldn't date her for another year without some sort of like relationship container, especially if marriage is something that you want just for yourself, right? You don't want to waste too much time with someone who can't meet you that way. But yeah, I mean, so far there's nothing you haven't showcased any red flags about this woman.
Okay. Would you recommend that I still foresee this out, like seeing this out after this trip and where it ends?
Yeah, I think that give you some clarity. When is she supposed to come back to the U.S.?
No, she's coming back to the U.S. I'm going to visit her in the Caribbean.
She's not coming back to the U.S.
Not anytime soon.
That changes things a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assumed she was coming back. My apologies.
You mean like to live or just to visit occasionally?
Like to live.
Uh,
Or at least
it's
coming back for
only,
like an extended period of time.
yeah, I don't think you wouldn't be able to stay over past like 90 days or I think 3 months.
Okay. How
Visiting
real?
wise,
How many times? I mean, how often would you realistically be able to see her?
honestly and truthfully, this is another conversation we had. Maybe a few times in a good year. I'd say 2 or 3 times. Honestly,
2 or 3 times in a year?
yeah,
I cut it, bro. That's not
I think so.
enough. That's not enough. You would need to be like like once every 6 week cadence or something like that. 2 or 3 times in a year. It's like she's just gonna find somebody closer, or you're gonna find somebody closer.
Got
This
it.
doesn't work. This doesn't work. It's not natural. Like long distance is like an unnatural state to be in. So like it only kind of works when like you can see each other enough and then also close the gap relatively soon. Neither of which is kind of possible in your situation. So you're kind of just preventing the inevitable in this situation, which I think she intuits. Um, I think before she went back, if you would have locked in a relationship then, you would have at least set a solid foundation. It's probably why she pushed for it, right? That will make sense. Like a year in, she probably wanted to get into like a relationship before she went back to her home country. But now that she's back there, that's probably why she's holding off because it's like I'm already back here now, and it'll be I'm gonna keep my options open. So yeah, this is something I would probably cut, or at least I would take out of my head that this is going to be a serious relationship.
Got it. Okay. All right. I do appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem, brother. You take care.
You as well.
Love, what's going on?
Hey bro, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, bro. I have a question, bro. Like, I'm in relationship like from last 3 years, and like basically I'm from New Zealand, and me and my girlfriend like staying together from 1.5 year, and recently I went to my parents, like my parents from like India, and I went to them, and it's my first time after 7 years to see them. And I was there. Okay, me and my girlfriend, she's in New Zealand. I'm in India, and we are going good. Like before coming back here, like in mid January, like she suddenly like on call. Like it's very hard for me. I can't do that. I need a space. I need a like time to think about it. Which is like this same happened like a year ago with me. I was here that time with her, and that time like we have like chat together, sit together, like have chat, sort out the things. Okay. And then after that, same thing. And then I came back here, and I had a chat with her again. And then I'm like, okay, like we can have space. Then I can move out somewhere else. Like we're living together. I don't want to then pressure you or something, but I don't want to keep contacting you. Like don't want to keep talking to you about in this space. She like I don't want that. I want to like keep talking to you. I want to like how we going normal, but like I'm not sure about this relationship, and like she going out with her friends now for trip, and like not any message me, not any slap me, anything. And like recently she messaged me like before going to trip, and same I'm feeling like I'm thinking about like some bad things like what happened with me in the past, so I don't feel like reply her, and I'm like okay, I don't want to reply her, and she like oh you should talk to me before I going to trip. To be honest, I don't want to, and I'm literally stuck about in this thing like from more than a week now. Keep thinking about that. What should I do? Like seriously.
Okay, what's your question here?
It's question here like should I like continue talking to her, or like get my space, or like keep move on from here?
She broke up with you, right?
Yeah, she like
Okay,
not able
yeah.
to have
I would
space
stop talking to her and move on with your life.
because like she's like still messaging me, like want to talk to me, like
Right.
making me confused. Like, okay, I want to talk to you,
No.
but I'm so confused. I'm so
It's
confused.
she wants to have her cake and eat it too situation. Yeah, you just gotta set a boundary and move on.
Yeah, cause like like she called me recently. To be honest, I didn't pick her call, and like then she messaged me. She like why you suddenly stop talking to me? Like why are you doing this? Cause I don't want to like put myself in that situation where I feel like I'm an option for her.
Right, right. So you know what to do, brother. Just go ahead and keep it moving, all right?
Okay, bro.
All right, Chief.
Yeah.
You take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Last call. Miss Ali, what's going on?
Hello, how you going? Can you hear me okay? Because I'm not too sure if I'm in a bad network area or not.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so thanks for bringing me up. I'm just reaching out because I recently exited a relationship characterized by dishonesty, manipulation, and emotional abuse. While I'm out of the situation, I find that, my internal alarm system is still stuck on high alert. So my primary goal is to process the trauma so that I don't have to carry these, well, I see it as defense mechanisms like hypervigilance or lack of trust into future relationships. So I guess what I want to ask you is that, I want to learn how to distinguish between a genuine red flag and my own trauma-based fear. Like, do you have any specific framework for rebuilding trust in oneself after emotional abuse?
Rebuilding trust in oneself after emotional abuse. So the problem that we're trying to solve is being able to properly vet people without your past experiences coloring the experience.
Correct, yeah. So obviously preventative measures or strategies to ensure that, vetting process for future partners is healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the first thing I would do is I would stop telling yourself the story that you're telling yourself, right? We're using a lot of therapy words, and they have their place, but they can amplify the negativity of the experience. It's best to just admit the foundational truth, which is you are hurt, and then feel the pain from that. When we go into storytelling mode, we tend to harden ourselves and close ourselves off. The story isn't really necessary, especially if you've learned your lesson from it, right? But the story doesn't really, you start to create an identity around that story, and then that can kind of sabotage future connections. So what I would do is just say your past experience hurt, like you telling yourself this, by the way, and then you feel any emotions that come up from it. But then on the back end of that, you intentionally keep your heart open. You don't close it off. You open it up,
Yeah.
right? When you start telling yourself a story, you close it off a little bit. So you want to prevent the closing of it, because then you start putting up these walls and make it harder to access your heart. And some, well-intentioned people probably
Correct,
aren't
yeah.
going to want to break those walls down, right? So after that, I would suggest you similar to a previous caller that I had, write down your non-negotiables, okay? Because really, what you're really trying to discern is like when someone is absolutely a wrong fit and when to give grace, right? Because everyone's going to have some red flags. So if your orientation is if you see a red flag, you run, you'll never find anybody. So you're going to have enough self-awareness to know like exactly what type of person you absolutely can't work with, right? And then write down like the non-negotiables for yourself. Meaning these are things, if I see these, I'm out of there. Like for me, one of those is lying. If you lie to me, I'm out. There's no second chances.
Yeah.
I'm just out of there, right? So write those down. And then when you come across somebody and they're displaying, a trait that isn't a green flag, right? But it's also not on the non-negotiable list, there might be an opportunity to give a bit of grace to a point, not infinite grace, but maybe it's a situation where like you have to share with them like how you want maybe to be communicated with, or
That's right. That's
maybe
through like constructive conversations
exactly,
and whatnot. Yeah.
yeah, because you have to kind of
Yeah.
like inform people on like how you want to be treated as part of like entering into a relationship. Very rarely we come across someone who like you're such a perfect match that y'all just connect like puzzle pieces at the outset. It's like communication, and then both of you kind of do a little bit of compromising, a little bit of bending, right? So that's how I would approach it. I also wouldn't go like looking for the red flags either. A lot of times when people get hurt, they stop having fun meeting people, and instead they start just like putting them on the spot and looking for something that's wrong with them. And that's felt by the other person. It'd be like women when they go on dates are like, are you in therapy? Right? They think they're saving their time by doing stuff like that. All they're doing is killing the vibe. And it just pushes people away.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, got some key facts out of that, so appreciate that. Thank you. Just one last question, right? And this is something that I guess, finding myself challenged on, and it's more so to do with boundaries, right? So how do I set boundaries early, so early on without feeling like I'm being difficult or guarded?
You don't not every boundary has to be like this drawn out, like serious conversation, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes you can set a boundary by like calling something out playfully, just bring it to the person's awareness. Like if somebody's late, like, oh, you okay? You late a lot, aren't you? What's going on, right? You can kind of lightheartedly point it out, and oftentimes just doing that will get someone to kind of course correct. And then if the behavior repeats, that's when you have to probably increase like the seriousness of tone, right? But that's like with light stuff. If it's something that's a big deal, then yeah, you might want to go ahead and set it, right? Like if somebody's touching you inappropriately and it's not a match, that might be a non-negotiable for you. So you might want to just exit. But there may be also a time for you to like set a hard boundary.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. This is the first time I've come across your panel. So do you offer like coaching
I
services?
only coach.
Just briefly, if you can just touch base on that.
Right. I only coach men love. I'm a men's coach, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, I
Fair
only
enough.
talk.
No, that's cool. Well,
Yeah.
that's fair enough. Well, nice to meet you. Thank you for answering my questions.
Absolutely.
I followed you, so yeah, looking forward to listening in.
Sounds good. You take care of yourself, all right?
Thank you. Yeah, you too. Take care. Bye.
All right, no more calls. What's going on, chat? Feel free to drop a question in the chat if you want, but we're done with calls for tonight. 'Twas a decent live. Wasn't as good as like this afternoon. We had a good one this afternoon. But yeah. It was decent questions. What was y'all's favorite call? Where do you coach these men? Link in bio. You're back 2 times a day now. Yeah, Glam Fam. I was doing, when I reduced it to 1 live per day, I saw like a dramatic drop in viewers. Before we were getting like 700, 800, sometimes 1,000 people in here. I think the algorithm adjusted for like just the once per day live, and I was okay. Well, we need to get back to 2 per day then. The Indian Man was your favorite? Okay. The Indian Man is crazy. Your fake page try to follow me. Yeah, if y'all see a fake page, report it. This is my only TikTok page. The soldier. Okay. Tom. Tom is the soldier. Right. Right. Tom will be fine, man. He'll be fine. That grief comes in waves, right? Some just got a request from a backup page. Yeah, I don't have a backup page. So definitely report that. What happened to Tom? Tom going through a little breakup right now, but he's going to be good. We're going to get him right. We're going to get Tom right. Tom is a lover boy. Actually, let me stop streaming on YouTube real quick.